Guys, I was going to upload a review of a High Republic book, right? And I just have seen so much talk about the writer strike and actor strike and all this stuff. And I have seen so much of just stress and worry and all that. I just want to talk about my thoughts about this Hollywood writers and actors strike. Personally, I think this is a good thing. I do support and stand with the actors. If you want more of a clear example why this is important, what's going on with all this stuff, I recommend checking Chris Stuckman's video out on it. And I say his video specifically because I think there are lots of videos out there talking about all this, but they don't do a great job of making you understand from an everyman's perspective. And I feel like Chris Stuckman is really great at, because he is a filmmaker himself, at breaking down everything in a way that a normal human being who doesn't understand movies, Hollywood, all this stuff, about what all this means, right? And so, so I think that's what's really great about Chris Stuckman's perspective on this. So, and he even broke it down in a way that made me more enlightened on the subject when I watched his video earlier today. Personally, I think the problem with Hollywood right now is what's always been a problem, which is back in the 1940s and the 20s and stuff like that, when Hollywood was first getting started, they wanted to own people through these contracts that they would make. And they were able to through these contracts, right? And then people went on strike and they rose up and they eventually changed things over many, many years. It's been a slow process. And really what I want to state up front about this actor and writer strike, it gets worse before it gets better situation. Right? And that's the thing we always need to remember. So it may look dark and grim right now, but a lot of these projects that get canceled, oh well, there's always going to be new projects to replace them. There's ones that have stopped filming that will continue filming when it's time to start that back up again. This sort of thing. This is just what's going to happen. And so I do want to state that up front. But you are seeing that, this idea of owning people, again, with the way AI is going with some of the actors and things like that. I think they're trying to own people again, like they used to do back in the day. Not something with these contracts that involve AI and using people's likenesses and actors, and that's kind of creepy and scary, right? And we don't want that. I think one problem I see with all this striking, though, is a lot of these things that they're demanding are not really things that Hollywood studios, I think, will ever do anything about. Like AI technology, this is going to be a problem and a conversation again, even after the strike. And I think the problem we need to realize is that a lot of this stuff does need to be governmentally looked into, of putting restrictions, even for places like Hollywood with AI. And I know they're trying to do that, but they're clearly not moving quick enough, and that's becoming a problem. That's one thing. I just want to state some ways I think Hollywood can improve. I think they can improve by right now, we have too many movies. Not that the movies coming out are bad. I don't think like that. I mean, even Chris Beckman pointed out in his video of several of the movies that have come out this year that have pretty much been universally liked, right? That is the thing. So I think this idea and notion of movies are bad is just dumb, right? Because that's like a subjective opinion, right? And at the end of the day, when we're talking about people working to get paid more and fairly compensated for their work, it really shouldn't matter what the quality of something is. Okay, I may get paid to write fucking Suicide Squad 2016 or Dear Evan Hansen. I don't care. It's bullshit, right? The Emoji Movie, but I also still want to get paid for what I'm doing. It's a job, and I'm getting paid to do it. Sorry. I'm just saying, like, these things happen, right? That's just the thing. I feel like that. But yeah, I think Hollywood should not. I don't know, maybe make less movies, but also space out some of these big movies. We don't need a big movie every single week. We do need to give smaller movies their prime time, give them their place to shine. We need to have months where at the beginning of the month you have a big blockbuster, and at the end of the month you have a big blockbuster, and then the few weeks in between are filled with smaller indie movies, dramas, comedies, whatever. We need to get back to that style of release strategy and allowing that to happen. Maybe we can have a couple more extra blockbusters in the summer, but still, we need to work on spacing these things out, taking care of these things. And that's really what we're at. And I think that's the thing there. I also think that Hollywood needs to focus on definitely making writing stronger, right? Because even though, like, some of these movies I do really enjoy, I do see that there is elements of times where I'm just like, this writing is not the greatest. Also, I think spacing out these movies would do great for visual effects. I think the other thing Hollywood needs to do to improve, animation people need to unionize. Sorry, I don't give a shit about these people who worked on Spider-Verse and sit there and talk about their terrible working conditions. And not like I don't care that they were treated unfairly. That's fucked up. It shouldn't happen, right? But how many times do these animation people keep talking about terrible working conditions and then they don't get off their ass and unionize? And that's the main problem, do what the actors are doing. And I think they will eventually, but it's just taking too long. But yeah, I think Hollywood's going to improve. I think things are going to happen. This is good that it's happening. Bad things happen for a reason. It leads to progress, it leads to good things. Let's just hope for the best right now. I just want to talk about it very quickly. Hollywood is not dead, despite my hyperbolic title. I just want to only talk about what I thought was going on with that.